6:30 CHED. Complete details at the Brick.
This special Father Day edition of One Family at a Time has been pre-recorded. Please do not call in. Let's return to your host, Lori Runzer, on 6:30 CHED, Alberta's information superstation.
You know, once upon a lifetime.
Getting to jump scare people.
How would you jump scare me?
Oh my god! You want to hear a banana joke? So I peeled my banana and it had a lot of strips on it. I guess you could say it was appealing.
Ayo! Do you wish that people gave you chicken nuggets when you knocked on their doors for Halloween?
No, I wish they gave me Reese's Pieces. They're as rare as the little Charizard first edition.
Oh boy! How are we gonna stay warm for Halloween?
My thing is literally a centimeter thick, so I think Canadian weather is gonna pass.
So you're not gonna do well. Do you want to do some jumping jacks like you would for Halloween to keep warm? I hear that helps.
Well, I've heard that makes you need to go to the washroom.
Do you feel warmer? Tune in next time for another episode of
Sonny, you should ask.
Bye, everybody!
Had an associate of mine who was a very powerful leader once asked me, if you could identify yourself as two animals, which animals would you pick? And I had never heard this question ever before. I don't know if it's in your book, but I had never heard it before. And I was just sitting there kind of stumped and not really sure. And I said, well, what about you? And he said, well, I think I would be an eagle and a tiger because I'm an incredible visionary and I'm a very powerful person. And I sat there in his wisdom and space and looked at him and thought about it. Can't believe I'm saying this over the air. And I said, well, I think I would be Thumper and Bambi. Because I'm a great encourager and I am so sensitive. And he just stopped and looked at me and said, Thumper and Bambi. And you know, it caused me to come to a point that I can really get into a person's world if I ask them the question to tell me a little bit about yourself or to find 3 words that would describe yourself. So instead of Thumper and Bambi for me, that probably would be sensitive, passionate, and purposeful. Now I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Oh dear. Would you share 3 words that would describe you?
Well, I would consider myself compassionate. I know I'm emotional. I'm definitely a risk taker. A risk taker in life, and in the business world, I consider myself equal parts probably of tough general and smooth diplomat.
Oh, tough general, smooth diplomat.
That's right, and I consider myself confident, and a lot of this is all developed because of the business world that I have entered. But I'm also, one big word that I would say that describes me is I'm spiritual. And that's an important part in the evolvement of our life, I believe.
So in part of your healing, your spirituality, your faith has come forward and carried you.
That's number 1. Okay. That's number 1 for that. But when you talk about animals, which would describe, and that what came to my mind is, I'd be more like an octopus because I'm going in so many different directions.
That's valid. That's valid. If you're self-publishing, you're writing, you're producing, you're speaking, you're doing a lot of things.
It's unbelievable, yes.
It is. That is very powerful. And yet, it does give us insight into some of the skills and some of the areas of your world that must have developed over time for you to find that business side of you, to find that productive side of you, to be able to get this much work done in a period of time.
That's right, and a lot of people think that they're obsolete in the business world, and even though I'd been an at-home mom for a period of years, that you can bring the skills forward that you had, and that's what I did. I realized that the discipline that I had years ago in the business profession really did me well, and you need that. You need that in life and in business. I love the entrepreneurial world. And I'm one of these people who reads a lot of business magazines and books, and I like the spirit of people who are on a mission, and their ups and downs. A lot of the successful people just haven't had it handed to them. It's a process and a painful process, and I've been there myself. I mean, I've hit potholes. If I look back and say, how in the world did I ever do all this? It's just amazing. It's just as well I didn't know what was ahead for me. But it's part of that master plan. That's right. And I don't consider myself really an author per se. I'm on a mission to help families connect. And I'm just very, very passionate about it. And I maintain, too, that what really gets you through a lot of these tough times is a sense of humor. You've got to have humor in your life no matter what. Well, I think that spirituality can give you part of your purpose. If you look at that common thread that has been planted in you and has developed in you throughout the different moments and the different stages of your world, and start to try and see just what has been that common thread that has been so delicately woven truly through this tapestry we call life, and to see what has been in store, and to see how we might bring those gifts and talents into the next project that we're working on. And so that's exciting to think that what you've done is you've tried to take some of those things that were questions of your own and to put them in a format so that they could be questions that other people could take ownership to and find the answers for. That's right. I think in questions these days now. After doing 10,000 questions on that other one. That's right. And in business too, I don't like the word failure, but I guess you can say you learn to fail fast and you fix it fast. Well, I think most successful people, especially entrepreneurs, know that success is a very fine line, and you're always walking on the edge of failure if you're walking on the edge of success. Mm-hmm. And that many, many people have actually attempted businesses and had to learn through those errors and learn through those times, not calling them failures or mistakes, but instead learning opportunities.
This weekend, if you happen to be doing a little